Derick here from Mocha Breakdowns. I have another early look play on the Brandon Royval versus Kape prelims that I want to break down for you guys here today. This time we're focusing on the women's bantamweight division. I want to talk about Luana Santos versus Melissa Croden. And as you can see with the line here, Croden is creeping up to even money very, very quickly. Plus 105 for Croden. Coming off of a very successful UFC debut, she got the third round TKO against Tainara Lisboa. Impressive feat in and of itself. But let's not forget Luana Santos. 4 finishes in her last 6 victories, and she herself did get Tainara Lisboa out of there much faster, much more efficiently. Only sitting at a minus 125 favorite right now. So the play that I want to talk about right here is going to be the Luana Santos side, but I'm going to talk about a couple of the plays in general that I see people throwing out there, and I think that this is where the confidences are going to lie. So first thing that we need to talk about here, Melissa Croden's archetype, right? Huge for the division. I think people are betting on her simply because she's just so massive of a bantamweight, right? She's 5'9", officially listed on Tapology, but I think she's probably closer to 5'10". She has a solid jab, throws out a lot of kicks. She's able to cover a lot of distance. She's just not incredibly fast. I don't see her as an incredibly stout athlete. Nothing to really brag about necessarily, just tried, true, and most important, she's very, very durable. Never been finished in her professional career. All of her losses have come via decision, of course. And she, though, has been put in a couple of bad spots. She's just tough, dude. She fought Jacqueline Cavalcanti in LFA for a championship. Got dropped, man. She was dead to rights, in my opinion. And she was able to literally say, no, you're not going to be on top of me. I'm just going to stand back up. I'm going to frame out and I'm going to continue to fight. And she fought all the way to a decision. She got beat up in the fight, but that was very, very impressive. So when you see somebody across from her like Luana Santos, who is very archetypically similar to the fighter she just fought, Lisboa, doesn't have a ton of firepower on the hands, not an incredibly avid striker, but her grappling, I'm not going to say is second to none. I don't want to be hyperbolic here, but her grappling is legit, man. Luana Santos isn't a fantastic wrestler, where I think a lot of people are saying, well, how exactly is she going to be closing the distance in this one? And I don't think that she's necessarily going to need to have to wrestle in order to make this happen, because when Melissa Croden sticks out that jab, or when she blitzes, or when she throws that long teep, that long kick, Santos is going to do one of two things. She's going to counter the crash with a body lock, look for like an outside trip, inside trip, get her down, or she's going to try to catch the kick, throw the little punch, knock her off balance. She does this in almost every single fight. She just doesn't have the standard single leg, double leg that you would expect from like a wrestler who's going to utilize their grappling. I just think in these scenarios here, the question is, Melissa Croden, frame size, too durable, rinse, wash, repeat from the Lisboa fight and just knock Santos out rounds 2, round 3 when she's too tired to be able to get the takedown? Or does Santos look like the vintage version, the one against Lisboa that just went ahead and got the key lock and got her up out of there, man? Who's doing key locks in women's MMA these days? That's all that I'm saying. I think the over 2.5 at minus 250 in this spot generally would probably be somewhere like minus 300, minus 400, because the probability of this going to a decision is super high. 1, very durable Melissa Croden. 2, if Luana Santos is the winner, probably going to have to go closer to a decision. If not, it's probably going to be a late finish, or it could be an early finish, but we're not all over the place here. It's just the fight props right here. Melissa Croden outright as an underdog is the play that I see people taking because of her size and frame and things that I just mentioned. But if not that, it's going to be these two plays that you see right here. Round 2, round 3, Melissa Croden, plus 1,100, plus 1,400. I see that all day for the Croden side. If you're Luana Santos, you're either going to bet a double chance, which is actually not available right now. It would be a decision or submission for Luana Santos, double chance. I don't know what those odds are. Or you would go Luana Santos decision or Luana Santos money line. I think people are looking at this as too lucrative of a spot for Melissa Croden. If she was a little faster, if she was a little bit sharper on the feet, I think that I would have no problem, and I think she would be a rightful favorite for Melissa Croden just because she's too big. We've seen Sean Brady. We've seen Pat Sabatini. We've seen some of these other guys who is like, man, your path is so clear. Just get the takedown and you win, and they just getting bunked on the way in and not being able to accomplish the game plan. So again, with that being said, I really like Luana Santos right here. Again, 4 finishes in her last 6 victories, but Melissa Croden has a granite chin. She's tough, she's durable, and we'll see if she'll be able to hold out. That's the play. Minus 125 is where you can get it.